Welcome back. Today we're going to look at how to solve an absolute value equation that involves more than one x. So you've seen in videos in the past that when you have absolute value of stuff equal to a number, n, then what you do is you take the stuff and set it equal to n, or you take the stuff and set it equal to negative n. So if we look at this equation here, we got absolute value of x plus 10 is equal to 4x minus 8. We know how to solve this if it was written as x plus 10, the absolute value is equal to 4. If we had that, what you would do is you would take x plus 10, the stuff inside there, and set it equal to 4, or x plus 10 equals negative 4. But on this particular problem, we don't have just a number here, we have an expression over here. But you do it the same way. So, your first step is to isolate your absolute value, which it is. So now, we're going to rewrite this as two equations. So the first equation will be x plus 10 equals. So if we have a 4 here, we just set it equal to 4. We don't change it. So we're just going to keep it as 4x minus 8. But then, if we had a 4 there, we would set it to the opposite of 4. Okay? So when we write our second equation over here, we're going to go x plus 10, and we're going to set that equal to the opposite of 4x minus 8. So that would be negative 4x plus 8. Notice I changed the signs of both of these terms. And now we're just going to solve these two equations. So in this one, we can subtract x from both sides. We get 10 is equal to 3x minus 8. And then add 8 to both sides. Add 8 to both sides. We'll get 16 equals 3x. And then last, divide by 3. So x is equal to, oops, that should have been 18. 10 plus 8 is 18. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Now let's solve the other equation. So in this one, we can add 4x to both sides. So we get 5x plus 10 is equal to 8. Then we can subtract 10. And we get 5x is equal to negative 2. And then last, divide by 5. X equals negative 2/5. So our two possible solutions are x equals 6 or x equals negative 2/5. So remember, your last step is to check these. So we're going to take the original problem, okay, and we're going to plug our possible solutions into both of these. So let's check 6 first. Let's see if 6 is the solution. So let's plug 6 in place of the x's. So over here we got 6 plus 10, which is 16. So we get an absolute value of 16 is equal to, well, here it's 4 times 6 is 24 minus 8. The absolute value of 16 is 16. 24 minus 8 is 16. So that works. So x equals 6 is the solution. Now we need to check our other possible solution. Now we need to check negative 2/5. So let's plug negative 2/5 in place of the x's. So we got negative 2/5 plus 10 over 1. So we need a common denominator. So let's change 10 over 1 to 50 over 5. So on the left side, negative 2/5 plus 50 over 5 would be 48 fifths, the absolute value of 48 fifths, which is just 48 fifths. Now let's simplify the right side. So let's put this 4 over 1. So 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 5 is 5. So we got 8 fifths minus 8. Let's turn this into a fraction by putting it over 1, and now we've got to find a common denominator. My common denominator is going to be 5. So we got 8 fifths minus 40 over 5. 8 minus 40 is negative 32. So over here, we get negative 32. On the other side, we got 48. 48 fifths does not equal negative 32 fifths. So this solution doesn't work. That's called an extraneous solution. So the only solution to our original equation is just 6. So it's important that you always check your solutions, because sometimes one of them might not work.